Iliad, kind of things that they're doing over there. I don't know about that.
No, it's a different thing.
Fasting?
What's that?
Bone broth? Would you like some bone broth?
No, okay.
Yeah, it's got some kick to it.
Will that stop the rains?
No, Mom and I are intermittent fasting.
Wow. Oh, you guys really are on it.
We're trying to lose weight. I
think you've lost some weight.
I have lost weight. Since I last saw you, I definitely lost weight. But I just was like.
Do you guys have a bed or something?
No, we're doing a 5K. You want to do our 5K?
Are you guys going to get so thin that you both can wear the same pair of pants at the same time?
One in each leg?
We would be great conjoined twins comics.
That'd be great, yeah.
Like if we could get conjoined.
No.
If my liver goes out, take just my head, sew it onto your shoulder, and tour with me.
That's a great idea. Those
you mean like a side head?
Yeah, like a side head.
Those conjoined
facing
twins.
the other direction, so you can't hear. I'm off mic. Turn me around, Tom. And then
no, but he's the back in the day guy. But back in the day, a guy could say this.
Those conjoined twins that are teachers, they're married to different guys.
Yeah,
isn't that wild?
Where's their Hulu deal?
I think they actually have one.
Wait, teachers?
You're doing the bone broth. Now, what kind of exercise are you guys doing?
I lifted this morning.
I
run.
And then some MMA in the evening?
Sometimes, yeah. When I do 2 a days, yeah. Yeah.
I was...
Do you ever run?
No, I have a bad knee, and I'm every time.
It was crazy to watch Shane, catch his stride. Because I've always thought he was funny. But then within those fully loaded dates and to watch him, all of a sudden get to a place where he's just outpacing, and he really does. I mean, say whatever you want just about being funny, but he writes a lot. He writes a lot. He always has new material, and he's always opening on new material. Shit that I look up to, I go, God damn it, you're opening on that joke?
Yeah.
He's like, well, it's not that strong, so I figure if I put it up front, it'll force me to figure out what's good about it. And you're like...
He's got so many, he's an impressionist guy.
Yeah.
And growing up in comedy, I was always the impression guy, but his stuff is good.
Yeah.
And there's a few guys that are really good at it. He's one of them for sure. So
he's someone that
he's super self-deprecating. Though.
He's super self-deprecating.
Before that show, we were in my room, and I was like, how's your hour? He's like, it sucks. And then he goes, I suck. And then we walked out. So I was like, yeah, that's good.
His pop in Vegas when he went on stage was so fucking insane.
Oh,
so we didn't tell him anyone was on the show. So we bring out Bobby Lee. Everyone's like, oh, this is going to be a great show.
And they went crazy for Bobby.
And then we're like, Shane Gillis. And the place, standing ovation to come on stage. And he sat there for probably 3.5 minutes of them applauding and was like, you guys are making me uncomfortable.
Yeah. Wow.
And then he destroyed.
That's another difference between when I watch guys like him, where they'll I always felt the pressure because the way I started comedy was in the real bad comedy world where they say something funny and all that kind of thing. Where you had to be funny within the first minute or else you didn't deserve the right to be there.
Yeah.
So that was always the thing of you always have to constantly tell them that I deserve to be here. That is no longer true in comedy. They'll give you some time to whatever. They'll let people I've seen it before where I'm like, why is this person starting with a slow burn joke when they have other jokes? And it's because they can now. Where in the past, people would have thrown something or they would have, the lights would flicker, something like that. So, that's a different thing. Because back then it was really you gotta get them right away.
Do you know who I'm going to see today for the first time in 25 years?
Who?
Dimitri Martin.
I saw him in New York. I hadn't seen him in a long time either.
Yeah, he's doing the show with me at one of the shows we're doing at the store together. I started the same day he did. He was immediately so much better than all of us.
Yeah, he's a talented guy too.
He is such a. Today, I was on his Instagram just looking at just his jokes. He just posts jokes from old specials, and they're fucking so good.
Yeah,
he's
great
so fucking good.
Yeah.
He's so. Who did you start with?
Well, I started with a lot of people who, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I was there when Louis and Nick DiPaolo and all those guys, but Zach, of course, I saw those guys. But they were all younger than me, so I had already been doing comedy before them. I'm trying to think of I guess the people that were of my generation are mostly dead, the Greg Giraldos and the Mitch Hedbergs, and those are the names that But there's a million there was a million people coming and going through that world. But, you know, back then it was, you know, a lot of these guys were trying to get a sitcom. And a lot of them were trying to get writing jobs, and it really depended on what you look like. If you were ugly, you were a writer.
Yeah.
If you were good looking, you were an actor.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of flipped a little bit, where it's like, you know, ugly's in or whatever, inclusive. You know, everybody's a part of the party. So, but I always was like, stand up is what I want to do. And, you know, the few times, like, well, I never got to see Sam Kinison live, but he was the guy, like, you know, dude, look at this guy, man. This guy's fucking amazing, you know? And then, like, you know, Bill Hicks, who I did get to meet once or twice, I was like, I'll never be as good as this guy. So, like, there's not even, like, you know, there's no debate about that. But those were the people that, like, yeah, I want to be those guys. And then Letterman, that was like the thing that, like, whoa, I was on Letterman, and now I'm booking shows across the country. That has no effect now, those late night things.
Nothing.
It's all self-produced clips and all that kind of stuff, which is probably better in a way, I guess, you know, because the stuff they would make you do to do those shows, like, you know, Nick Griffin's, you know, this guy?
Yeah, of course.
He's done a million of these you know, Tonight shows and all those late night talks, and how difficult it is and how much work it takes to put them together. Whereas at TikTok, you could just go like, you know what, I'm going to stick a firecracker in my, you know, and this is going to happen. And that. So it's like, there was a lot of work to that, you know, to really build that kind of like road business, you know. But now I would say that, you know, the people that I started with, a lot of them already moved on to like producing and all that kind of stuff and things like that. It's very few people that can, like, you know, like, we're all like Don Rickles, you know, they're like, people go to me like, you're like Don Rickles, you're going to tour forever, you know, and I'm like, yeah, I hope I can, you know, like, it's not a given that we're all going to be able to do this, you know,
of course,
forever, you know.
Just
you know, with the boom and everything like that, you know, it's great. Like, I see like it never ending, but I'm just hoping for all of us, you know, physically, mentally. You know,
I want to do this as long as
taking my shirt off until I'm 70.
Well, you guys are there already. You're drinking that broth, aren't you?
Yeah, the broth is working.
Shout out to Fire and Kettle.
Pour some out for Betty White or who, somebody. What do you guys think, since you're kind of in the world of big room touring of Taylor? I mean, like, it's pretty amazing, her
totally
business.
Amazing. She's somebody that really should be studied by business schools.
I think she's a year from being old enough to be president. She should throw her hat in on that. I mean, or whatever.
Unbelievable what she owns. Like, she's now, like, she re-recorded the stuff that she didn't own because she signed a.
What are you talking about, Taylor Swift or Taylor Tomlinson?
Both.
But Swift. So she owns like all her music now, and she puts together these tours. And like, they add stadiums the way we add shows. Like, stadiums are added and turns them down. There was a show, I was in Asia, and they were telling me, the promoter was like, yeah, Taylor Swift came here, and we offered something like $50 million to add 2 things in one of the markets. And she was like, I'm good. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
What's because she's doing Europe and Asia now. So like, how does that, like, you know, honestly, like, does the tour ever end, or does it keep going? Like, I don't know.
I mean, for her, she can do. I mean, you know, she has so much leverage. She did that document. She had her movie come out.
Yeah,
I think she got 57% from $1.
Right, because it went right to theater, or right
it was in theaters,
streaming.
But to have that much, be like, I get 57% from $1 of this release.
Wow.
The most impressive thing about her, this is like my stupid brain, is her dad realized when he started touring her that it was hard to rent buses.
Yeah.
So he just bought like 15 buses and was like, I'll just start a bus company.
Oh, cool.
And now if you want to rent a bus, you're renting it from Taylor Swift.
Wow, man. That's an
crazy.
empire.
It's kind of, I love those little things, those little cheat codes of life you hear about. And you're like, oh, I wish I had thought of that. I wish I'd bought my bus way before I did.
Well, maybe there's something to the other way of it, which is the retirement tour.
Yeah.
Well, since you're going to play Billy Joel eventually in a biopic.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. He keeps announcing this final MSG thing, like, this is it, people. Yeah. I'm never doing it again. And then he's on tour with Rod Stewart. Like, I don't get it, you know? Yeah.
And his fucking like 300 MSG shows in a row. Keeps going.
It's he probably has his own like house, like something. He has stuff there. You know?
It's crazy because I said casually, I said in something, I was like, yeah, I'm taking a break after this special. I'm going to take like 7 or 9 months off. And
why not 8?
What?
Why not 8?
Why not just 7 or 9?
Okay. All right.
So European tour.
Okay.
And so, by the way, I've already scheduled my European tour.
You have?
Yeah.